All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend behind the screen right now, Mr. Sam Singh is here. Brand new, basically, to real estate, as we were saying before the call. And this guy is killing it. But Sam, before we get into sort of the real estate and what you do, talk to us before you started working with me. Like, what were you doing? Talking about the personal brand. Tell me that from start to
Yeah,
finish.
absolutely. One, it's an honor to be here with you again. Loves, sharing time with you. Yeah, before I got started with you, the personal brand was completely non-existent. It was not existent at all. It was an inception, it was an idea, and it was a
Mm.
thought process for the future. Like, could you actually look me up and find anything or see any intention behind it? No, because it was still kind of like a thought in its infancy. All I did was focus on being a real estate investor. I mean, that's always going to be my bread and butter, and that's going to be where I need to focus.
Mm.
But I was very much, at a season in my life where I needed to be in the trenches. So, and when I came to you, I was starting to understand that the next level, the next stage of my season as a real estate investor had to be or could be unlocked through more personal branding.
Mm. And when before we joined the coaching program, how was the personal brand?
Yeah, it was again, it was completely not really existent at all. It was this kind of idea of like what I thought I wanted to portray, what you think people see you as.
Right.
And but you meet people and they, and then you realize that they see you a completely different way or they don't see you at all. And that's probably even a bigger problem.
Yeah.
But the personal brand in its inception was kind of this idea that I want to be able to help people who've got a similar background to me. Because I was raised by a single mother in, a low income neighborhood, and everything I want to do is through real estate investing, get financial freedom and showcase to other people how to do the same. But that idea was basically it was there. The idea was there, but there was no execution on it because I didn't have a guidance or a guiding force on how to do it yet.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest issue.
When you joined and we started working together, what was the first kind of win that you found through the program?
Well, I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you there.
No, I was saying when you first joined the program, what was the first win for you? What was the first thing you're like, oh, that I got it, it made sense.
Yeah, absolutely. You and I talked quite a bit before, right? Because you came on the podcast and we
Right.
got to know each other. And I got to see how magnetic of a personality you are, which is amazing. It immediately drew me to you. But one thing that I knew that I wanted, you were very clear with me up front on what what does Sam need out of this? What is Sam looking for? And
Mm.
I never even thought about that. And you asked me a very tough question. I didn't know how to respond to it. And then I quickly understood that the reason why I was having success in the business of real estate investing was because I treated it like a business.
Right.
What I didn't treat like a business was my personal brand. So the first week of our sessions, it was very much after, the introductory phase was very much we're going to formulate and outline like an actual business plan around our brand. And a lot of people, especially newer investors, newer entrepreneurs, they have an idea of personal brand and they know they can help it with their business. They know they can help the business out, but they don't actually treat their brand like a business.
Mm.
And
Mm.
that was the number one thing that I was looking for. Right off the bat, it was without a doubt, that's exactly what we were going to do.
So the messaging was probably the first win for you, getting people to really dial in of like who Sam is.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, you said this to us very early on. You said this to me, maybe I think one-on-one. And that was that you were going to ask me questions that you were going to like throw questions at me that were going to stump me.
Mm.
And you absolutely did. One of those questions was, what is the message? What do you want to convey?
Mm.
And then we all have this kind of abstract idea, but once someone upfront asks us that face to face, what is your message? What is your vision? Who do you want to help? We all kind of start bumbling. And if you remember, like I started bumbling too a little bit. And that question, getting that clarity first and foremost was the biggest thing, was ironing out what that mission is, ironing out what that vision is, who I'm trying to help. And if you didn't ask me that then and there, it's so interesting because, from there, from the ending of that training, of our training together to now, my trajectory has gone through the roof just because of that one basic question.
Mm.
And it's because there's more clarity. When there's more clarity, now there's intentionality. Now we can execute at a higher level. So it all goes hand in hand in a beautiful way.
Yeah, confused mind isn't a sold mind, dude. You know what I mean? It's no one's like, what does he do again? Whatever. We'll go to the next person. Throughout our 30 days together, tell everybody who's listening the process on like 3 days a week. Because at the beginning, it's a lot for people to sort of digest. For 3 days a week, I don't have time, but tell everybody why that was a win for you, and also Dave, who you brought on along as well.
Yeah, shout out to Dave. Love that man. He's a friend, he's a brother. And Dave got a lot of clarity with this too. The 3 days a week, I loved it because a lot of times we get into training programs, whether it's investing or entrepreneurship or personal, but whatever it is, they're very often once a week. And the reality is that once a week, unless you're someone who's working 80 hours a week, it usually means you're going to slack off. And 100%, it was, I think doing it 3 times a week allowed us or promoted us to be as accountable as possible. Because if we didn't have our deliverables by the next meeting, you would 100% call us out on it. And it wasn't because you did it, to be a jerk. It's because we're basically robbing ourselves by not putting in the work that we need to put in.
Yeah.
So I think the 3 day a week, I think it was a lot, but any less would have allowed us to stray off. And I think that constant, not supervision, but that constant kind of accountability was a huge, huge factor.
Yeah. So yeah, the accountability is always big, to be able to make sure that, hey, I'm going to ask you what's going on. You've got 24 hours to come back to me. I think that was a big win for all of us. Share with some people as well. Like, I think sometimes people think with personal branding, it's just going to be, I'm going to be talking about TikTok content or like when to post or what to post. Tell them about some of the activities that I made you do that you use today.
Yeah, absolutely. One, if there's anyone wondering, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but you're not going to give them, oh, here's the secret tip to rigging the algorithm in your favor. And if you post it at this time, no, none of that.
No, we're not doing that.
No, that crap's useless. I'm sure it has its place, but that's not what we focus on. We focus on, it's funny, I look at entrepreneurship in the same way. What are direct money making activities? Right? Money making activities, not just posting content for the sake of posting content, but having the intentionality of, okay, we're going to go and let's just take the IG lives, for instance. Before I even came on your program, you came on my podcast and made me put up $1,000 to go live for 30 days.
I did it, right?
I did it.
Nice.
And what that taught me, very interestingly enough, not just the business that it brought me, because it brought me business. It actually did, which is amazing. It brought me relationships with some phenomenal people. I have a really great relationship now with, I think, a guy you know really well, named Taylor. And that was through the IG lives.
I didn't know that. There you go.
Yeah. Naaman came on. He was like, why is this guy on IG Live? And I'm like, oh, I'm on a challenge by this guy named Jay. And he's like, I know Jay. But now Naaman and I are going to Florida for Scale and Escape together. And like, we're going to do a lot of cool things. But outside of that, it taught me one core thing.
He just left it up today.
Wait, what was that?
He just left the army today. He finished today.
Dude, I love it.
He's
amazing.
Yeah. We'll call him after this, but he's like completely a free man today. Like he's out of jail.
I love it. He just found out, not to digress, but he just found, I think he just announced today that they found out that the gender of their newest baby is a girl. So I just saw that today. So shout out to him, and his beautiful
shout out
wife.
to him for buying a new shotgun today too. So,
but
I'm just joking. I'm like,
no,
but yeah, got a girl with a shotgun, Yeah. So as you, we don't want to go on too long because obviously people are probably watching this, but just to wrap it up. So the lives are a big help for you as well. It's like to help you communicate it. Probably the simplicity of some of the activities that I got you to do were the most effective. Correct?
Well, not just that, I think yes, 100%. And a lot of people, they overcomplicate building a personal brand, but the reality is maybe just going live for 20 minutes a day, 5-7 days a week is the right answer, and it builds the right habits. It also taught me, and again, this goes back to treating your personal brand like a business, is that if it's important, you don't let excuses get in the way. We started the 30-day challenge for me on Instagram Live. I was on vacation at Universal Studios and my friends were pissed off that I was like, like vlogging and stuff like that. But after I did that, guess what I learned? One, you're going to be super comfortable. Everyone gets over this initial fear of how do I look on camera? It's weird when you're doing this kind of thing. But once you get past that, you just unlock new levels of confidence and accountability.
Yeah.
And now I'm at a point where if I need to go make content, if I need to go live on Instagram, if I need to go do a webinar in front of 1,000 people, like, and it's important, we will make the time, and there's no shying away from it. And that in and of itself is huge.
Love it, dude. So the final question, you know, for some people who may be on the fence, who may be thinking, I don't know, like, I don't know if I want to invest into my personal brand. Like, I want to be the quiet guy. What would you say to people, you know, that may be on the fence about working with me and also like investing in their personal brand?
Amazing. I love this. There's a few parts to it, right? The reality is this: people need to ask themselves, where do they want their business to go, right? Whether it's real estate, whether it's fitness, whatever the heck it is, where do you want your business to be? And the truth, no matter whether we like it or not, the future of our society is going to be based on social media and branding and people seeing your face and seeing you talk and seeing you connect. They need to be able to connect with you visually, not just from audio, but visually. They have to see you. And if you want your business to succeed, your business needs a face. And if you don't understand that, if you push that off, you're actually leaving so much money on the table, and you will get bypassed by everyone who's just as, you know, there's going to be people who are worse operators in business than you, but they will, you know, rocket past you just because they're doing a damn good job building up their brand. And opportunities come to brands, not businesses, in my opinion. This is what I've noticed. This is what I've seen just by doing this. I've gotten more business opportunities and high-level relationships through just being visible. Not my company, not my real estate endeavors, none of that. Just by me being visible as a human being on social media and in my brand.
Yeah, I love that, man.
You're leaving so much money on the table if you're not doing it. And to, you know, working with you specifically, dude, I firmly believe that I don't invest. I say I'm a real estate investor, but I quickly learned, you know, a few weeks ago, I had this kind of epiphany in my mind. I don't invest in real estate. I don't invest in businesses. I invest in relationships. And so for anyone wondering, Jay is a guy who's already at a stratospheric level, and he's only going to go further and further and further. A lot of times I would do this again. You taught me so much. You taught me so much. But I would do this again just for the sake of having proximity to you, because you're not just a magnetic human being. You are a phenomenal showcase of how personal branding can help every other facet of your life.
Yeah, man.
And you poured into us, dude. You absolutely freaking poured into us. And it wasn't transactional. It's not like, oh, we're here once a week and this is what I want you guys to do. No, you gave enough of a damn about us to keep us in check. Yeah. And that speaks volumes.
Thank you, man. And so that people know that you're not an actor from LA. I didn't hire you off Fiverr. Where can they learn about you?
I am from California, but not LA.
Yeah. Where can they learn about you?
I'm so sorry.
I said, yeah. So I know that.
Where do they learn about me?
Yeah. Where can they go find about you? So we know that. Where can they go find more about you?
Okay, there you are, dude. You were lagging. Yeah, you guys can look me up on Instagram at Arch Sam Singh. So take my name right here and just add Arch in front of it. 100%. If anyone's on the fence, like, come talk to me. This is one of those things where I full sent on it, but I knew that I know that if I could go back to myself in the past, and if I could sense that Sam then had some hesitations, I would tell him what's going to happen. He wouldn't believe what's going to happen, but I would tell him how much things can change in 30 days, and they did. But 100%, find me on Instagram at ArchSamSing. Hit me up. Happy to talk about it. The experience was great. And honestly, this is the start of me working with Jay. Jay, I'm sorry, dude. You're gonna be used to like seeing me around a lot. It's a non-negotiable. You're not
non-negotiable. I love that. All right, man. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all the kind words. Thanks, bro.